o'clock, so I guess we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. First of all, we would like to start with prayer. Father Jesus, we come together today to handle city business. May it be unprofessional in the way that you desire it to be. May we increase us and add you more to what's going on in this city. And Father Jesus, these blessings we ask in your name. Amen. Amen. All right, guys. Basically, what the call me for today was just want to get some input from you guys to see what's going on in your department. What you guys think would be better to improve the department. Just want to hear what you guys got to say today, pretty much. So everybody don't speak at the same time. One
at a time.
One at a time.
You'll start with Mayor?
Well, we'll say ladies first. How about that?
That'll be fine.
Okay.
Everything's going pretty good right now. I mean, I'm just shorthanded. I'm having to work a lot of hours doing operator job and my job, so I really need some help, but it don't look like I'm finding nobody anytime soon. That's why I said what I said at the council meeting about putting it on my budget or not putting it on my budget. It may be after y'all approve it before I can get somebody in here, but I just got one full-time operator at the water plant and 2 part-time, and those 2 part-time are limited to what days they can work, so I'm having to work all the other shifts, so it's just been kind of tough on me, but I got Katie came Friday and started the evaluation for the system, water system, and she's going to get with Richard and meet with him because she asked me a bunch of questions, and I had to give her a bunch of documents and information, and she's going to get some stuff from Richard too. So she's hoping to have the evaluation done by the end of October if she can get all the information that she needs by then. So I've already sent a list of stuff she needs from Lewis and Diane and Amy, and the other stuff I'm getting her from ERA Lab in Auburn and our results from the plant. And one of the questions she asked me was about if we still only sold water from the from the industrial water tank, the meter that's out there. And I told her that we had one at the high school that we had been using for the gas company. I guess it's Spire, is that what it's called? Spire. And then the hydrant at the distribution, which I'm not sure, what is that for, Richard? The distribution hydrant that y'all installed.
Oh, that's for our purpose, for putting up our truck.
Filling up like the jet truck and that kind of thing. And then I know she said that we used to have a meter right here at the Head Start, and they used to pull and sell water from it, but it started causing a bunch of problems, so they stopped. So she said that industrial was the designated location for us to sell water to truckers or whoever needs to buy water to fill up trucks or whatever, because if you start pulling from other areas of town, it's going to cause dirty water problems. So that's when y'all said that we might need to cut that one and the one at the high school off and just tell them that they got to go out to industrial to use that one. Because it's dead end. Yes.
They're not here.
So it's off now?
Yeah, but here's the problem that we're going to run into out there in the industrial park. We got a company that's getting water out there now. So how are we going to do that when you have another company out there? It's going to cause a problem with the reading and how much amount that they use.
Yeah, that is.
That's because it's just one hydrant right there. And that one company that's out there now, they keep it with them. And I don't know when Miller going to come out. Because they're not using as much oil as they have been because they do drill. They big quantity was when they were drilling and insert. So they're not doing that now. So they drill trucks gone. So they've been gone for months. They've been if we start doing that, I mean it's gonna be mine is 2 spots. You use it
the center of town, and it's
But
at,
they ain't used water by the high school in a while now.
yeah,
So if you use those two spots, that'll decrease the dirty water issues that we're having pretty much.
that's what I was told. I mean, I don't know.
Have we not had a situation before we had more than one place, I mean, one entity or company come in and get water and we?
That's the two places it's always been.
But see,
Yeah,
what
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
It's always been the industrial park and,
what I'm saying is,
Uh-huh.
if you got two companies, or three companies up here, and you tell them to go to the spot, how you gonna control, how you gonna charge?
No, I guess what I'm saying is,
each one of them gonna have a meter.
in the past,
We ain't got no meter for that.
It will,
but I guess what I'm saying, in the past, have we not had two companies here at the same time before?
Not since I've been here,
Not since you've been here? Okay,
no.
okay.
Not like this, I don't know what they had in the past, but not since I've been here.
Okay, so when it first started, when we had more than one here at the same time, like, how long has it been?
See, now, what I do, Miller had it one spot, and we never moved it.
And that started when?
Whenever they first started coming in with the gas. I mean, I don't know when it been.
Okay.
But if another company come in, I give them the hydrant, and they would keep it. And then, when they get through, I get it back, but every month, I would call them, and I would get a read and bring it back to them.
But I guess my question is, so when did that happen? I guess I'm trying to figure out, to answer Councilmember Thomas's question, I think, when did this first happen so we can see, okay, is this even the reason
Right.
why we have having problems? Because we could be sitting here talking about something that.
And then the reason, I agree.
Not the reason.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying not the reason, I'm saying I don't know, I'm trying to figure out, if we've had two people drawing in different places, say 9 months ago, then, you know what I'm saying?
We ain't had no two people, nothing like
This
that.
has been a couple of months since the gas company started, is when we started having a bunch of dirty water calls. And now, I can't say
Well,
100%.
the gas company's been here more than a couple of months.
Well, that's what I'm
so-
saying, but we've been getting a bunch of calls since they started, because that was the first thing that I thought of when everybody started calling in all these remote areas, was somebody's pulling from a fire hydrant somewhere.
No, that's not true. That's not true. And the reason I say that is because we haven't been getting no dirty water call in that area. All the dirty water calls been in this area. The hydrant been over there by the high school.
So what do you think the cause might be?
I don't know. I don't think it's from that. I don't think it's from that.
Anytime you open a fire hydrant, it don't matter, you still can get.
What we gotta stop doing, and we gotta stop trying to put blame on this. Now, let me finish, and then you can have this one. We gotta stop trying to put blame on this and that, and let's find a solution and get it correct.
Well, that's what I was asking about, was the cause, not the.
I don't think them putting water from that high school is called dirty water is because if that's so, we would have it regular. The only time we have had, when you think about it, the only time that we have really had the dirty water complaint is, you remember when the tank got low? And then this tank got low. Them ain't the only time that we really had the issue. That means, yes it is. Yes it is, I promise you it is. I even came to you and I asked you, when they had the tank, working on the tank, I said, do you want to get water from here? You said, no, we ain't gonna need to do it. But when a problem come up, we turned on Hewlett and we got it right back. Do you remember that day? Do y'all remember that issue?
Yeah, I remember when the tank went off.
Well, we had dirty water about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Well, somebody said it was dirty water last week.
There's been dirty water calls for every single week.
But the gas
for
people
months
ain't
and
called
months
us.
now.
The gas people, I had a call just last week when we did that fire hydrant out there. I walked in City Hall and Miss Diane said, is y'all working on 48 out here by Jared Allen house? If that guy in the car, they do it? No. We are here on County Road 32. come in right behind me and she asked you the same thing.
Okay, I'm not placing the blame on him, I want that to be clear, I'm not placing the blame on anybody.
But I'm just saying, we just need to get the problem fixed.
Yeah, but we need to know what causes the problem before we.
I don't know.
Yes, I'm gonna say,
You gotta diagnose it.
when the tanks are low, like they did that day,
Uh-huh.
that they got low, yes, it will cause dirty water problems, and I admitted that right off the bat when it got low. I just don't understand why the tanks got low. I mean, why are the tanks draining so much every night? We're working 2 extra hours a day for the past several months now, just to compensate. You know, so that situation don't happen again to where we're too low in the morning. I mean,
And how is the water level holding up when you do that?
I mean, we're fine as long as we work that 2 extra
As long
hours.
as you work the 2 extra hours that you used to not have to work.
Yeah,
And
so
hadn't
I
been-
mean,
hadn't been
I'm
just
doing that
thinking
to
water in the
avoid the
lawn a
tanks
lot.
draining down again, you know, so,
Yeah.
I don't know what the problem is. We got some issues
Sounds
somewhere.
like the water's getting away somewhere.
Yes. But you can tell that by the report every month.
Yeah.
I mean, we're pumping 15 million gallons of water, we're only selling 7 million gallons of water. So that water's going somewhere, but I don't know where.
And we losing that much water a month.
Well, some of it's accounted for. I mean, some of it,
Some
Some
gonna
of
be washed out.
yeah, some of it's leaks, some of it's the fire department, you know, filling up tankers. That's why I have an accounted for and I have an unaccounted for. But our unaccounted for water is 2 to 3 million gallons a month.
Well, let me ask you a question right here. Have any of the water been captured, have been sent to the lab to see what is mud, what is, coming from the pipes, have anybody?
Well, I had the mayor with me the last time when we had this issue. And the mayor came and he rode with me, cause I had a few calls. And he went, we had a fire, he went to a couple spots, and he called, but you saw him with me that day. And when we turned on the fire and the stuff come out of it, ain't mud, it rust.
It's from the pipes.
It's rust. It's not no mud. When people getting it out, it ain't getting muddy water, they getting rusty
Rusty
water.
water. That's
And the
exactly.
mouse, he saw it. He literally saw it. It's not dirt, it's just rust.
Yeah, it looks like rust.
It's
You
rust,
know,
it's not dirt.
And then you get more rust and it
Yeah,
turns
it's
brown.
rust. It's not dirt, it's just rust
Yeah,
water.
and that's why it doesn't come out of clothes easily.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's just from having old pipes. I mean, what is
Yeah.
it? That we got, what all we got out there still?
Probably
Cast
dirt,
iron?
dirt.
But I think that would be a start too, guys, if someone just captures some of that dirty water and send it to the lab.
Well,
let them-
I think Louis,
Well, I got some, but because I had, Richard bring me some, but then when I actually talked with Katie said that they wouldn't be able to tell me
what it is.
what it
We
was.
called something, right to Louis.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah.
That they wouldn't have taken. I guess one question that I did have, and I'm confused about, is like, say like, actually your sister, Linda Thomas, which is, why we still having issues like, on that end?
That's a good question. I don't know.
You know, like, because I know
Oh, that's what we redid, wasn't it?
we redid some stuff out on that end, so I guess
I can't tell you, I don't know.
Well,
that would confuse.
I think that was did, I can't figure out neither because from Southern Avenue all the way back this way is new pipe.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I did Southern Avenue when I was here, but before I came here, Joe Street and this street,
Yeah,
they
that's
tell
what I'm
me,
saying, yeah.
was already redid.
The only thing I can figure out with that is, at night when we shut the plant down and you don't have that head pushing this way, at night, the plant is not feeding town. At night, the tanks are feeding town. So even though these lines, and I may be wrong, but this is my theory of it. Even though all these pipes have been replaced and they're new, that water from the tanks are coming from old pipes into those new pipes, going back this way, because you don't have the plant pushing back this way, you know, the whole time. So at
water
night,
going back.
they're backflowing.
Oh, see,
You see what I'm saying? Because there's no water coming from the plant when we shut down.
Gotcha.
So at night, all the water's coming back from the tanks, going into all these lines and coming back. And it's going through old lines to get back to the new lines.
And that reversing of direction alone is enough to loosen.
And that might explain why sometimes we have dirty water when the plant's not even running. you know, because that water's coming back from this way, back through the old pipe, back to the new pipe.
Yeah, and when you reverse the direction, it flows one way and it forms eddies and makes some deposits, and then you turn it around and flow the other way, it washes that
That's
back
right.
out. So that may very well be what's happening.
And I guess what's confusing to me, like, I go to a lot of clerk conferences. So I meet almost every clerk in the state of Alabama. I haven't met one single clerk that said every line that they have in their city is new line.
You ain't,
No, it's not.
you ain't.
But the majority of clerks don't, when I talk to them, don't have the issues we have. Because we have, I mean, if we go a month without a water problem, that's doing good.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody at some point is gonna complain about some type of stored water over at City Hall. I mean, upstairs.
I mean,
So I guess I'm confused as to what it, I mean, I mean,
Katie mentioned to me
and
the
I
other
understand
day.
the pipes,
Yeah,
but like, I mean, just somebody tell me a city that has completely new, like no old.
no,
yeah.
you're not gonna find it.
you're not gonna find it.
But Katie did tell me the other day, she said, I know how aggravating it is to flush because it causes more problems. But she said, you have to flush twice a year. Every 6 months, you've got to flush your entire system.
Yeah.
Because she asked me when was the last time we flushed, and I told her they just flushed in April. She said, well, then they need to flush again in October. So that's something that we got to do, that we have it done and we've avoided doing to keep from causing more dirty water problems, but you got to do it. Even if it causes dirty water problems, you won't have to just put it in the paper and say, hey,
You don't think that'll help?
I disagree with that. You gotta flood.
Yeah.
But how we used to do it, and every state different. 1 year, I didn't ever flush nowhere. The fire department did. So how they did it was, 1 year, they'll flush and get their read for ISO or
the flow, yeah.
whatever they do. Okay. The next year, they'll come out and they just flush everything, flush it. And don't have to worry about no read. And they do that year, and year. 1 year they'll do the read, next year they'll flood. Next year they'll do the read, next year they'll flood. And they always did it like when the time changed. So you got long hours in the daytime. Now I don't know how they do it over here, but that's how we always did it. And I worked there for 30 years, and that's how they always did.
Y'all have a whole lot of water issues?
I'm being honest, count. I'm telling you no lie. This is the worst I ever been with dirty water. I ain't never had no issue down there in West Point. Never.
Is every line in West Point new?
No.
I know it ain't, I'm from West Point.
But I've been doing this for.
I mean, and not trying to put blame on anybody,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to understand
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
That's what's confusing me, because I understand water lines may be part of the problem, but I guess because it's what y'all do, so maybe y'all have a better understanding. Is there something else that can be done? Because it has to be if everyone else also has old lines, but they don't have as many issues as we have. Like, I'm just trying to figure out what type of process, whether it's plant process or whether it's distribution process, I don't know, but what type of process to where it seems like other cities are able to deal with the old lines that they have. You know, not saying that we don't need to remove some of them, I mean replace them, because we definitely do, but
I'm just telling you, old pipes, because that's what's causing the rust. I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, no other town has that problem. I'm just saying that the rust color is not mud, it is rust. A lot of people think it's mud, but it's not, but it's coming from the pipes.
I'm just saying historically though, not even just with the
And
rust.
it's a disturbance
just
in the system.
historically,
Yeah,
it's been mentioned
Yeah.
by you about, in fact, at one councilman, you said specifically, until we get rid of these old pipes, we're always gonna have
every time we
dirty
have a
water
disturbance in the system, we
problems.
are.
So then that's my thing, how other cities kind of doing it.
They're not having a problem, what you said.
Yeah, there's some kind of disturbance going on that either me and him's not aware of or something in the system that's causing these pipes to scour and send dirty water. And I don't know what it is. That's why we're having this evaluation done to see if maybe they can help us figure out what's going on in our system.
When we get a complaint, could we jot down the time and the address?
I'm telling you, I get the headache.
Okay,
I get the headache. Every time we get a complaint, I have to go to I had to hear all this joy and madness, but you know, it is what it is, and I tell the customer, we gonna get it right.
I understand.
So-
I'm trying to see if we can,
We doing that.
you got time and
We
location?
when City Hall call, we don't write the time, but when City Hall call, we got the address.
All right.
All right,
Can
go to
I
that.
have those records for a while, or come down here to City Hall?
But she got us, so what we do is, when we go to the people's houses,
Uh-huh,
and we turn on their faucet, and we see the water cloudy or
okay,
brown,
all right,
we go to the water meter.
okay,
We get a read.
okay. I'd like to have access to the data and see if we can
Oh,
start.
well, it's gonna be on a piece of paper. I ain't
But
got.
that's fine, a piece of paper is okay, I work with pieces of paper.
But this is how we do it, we go to the houses.
Yeah, that's fine, but what I'm saying is, maybe if we can look at the information that we get, maybe we can see something in common. Okay? And the time and the place are gonna be important, because then we can say, okay, around that
This
time,
area.
there's something else happening,
Yeah.
okay? You know, and the place is important, because if it's at night, the water may be going this way, and if it's daytime, the water may be going that way. Okay, so that kind of information can help us try to find out what the problem is.
Well, we got it, I mean, when we
Okay,
go.
well, that's good.
I mean,
I'll make sure
sometimes
we
they don't
have
call
something.
City Hall, sometimes they may contact one of you.
Well, I was just getting ready to say,
Yeah.
no offense though, but more than you get calls.
What I'm saying.
They'll call the plant director, they'll call
But
City
I
Hall.
understand
They'll
that,
call
but
council.
I ain't talking about the call,
No.
I'm talking about going to the people's house and the fussing and the cussing.
Now,
Oh, yeah,
what,
it's worse.
wait, hold on, but I know Councilman Thomas and I have talked about it plenty of times. I know I done got into arguments with folks plenty of times, so not saying you don't get it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
He's the one that
I
has to
may
go out
not
there.
relay
and
to
say,
you the fussing and cussing that I got, but it happens. You know what I'm saying?
It frustrates.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, I feel you.
Okay.
I get it.
Well, I don't know about the flushing, that's something that, you know, y'all can decide if y'all wanna do twice a year, once a year, but we have a flushing plan that was drawn up.
I think that's gonna be something that y'all need to get together on and sort of figure out what will work for y'all.
Yeah,
You know
alright.
what I'm saying?
What I'm saying is, we already had a plan drawn up by an engineer stating what we're supposed to do as far as preventive maintenance on the distribution system. And it states, but Terry Mangrum did mention that when he was on the fire department was the one that done the flushing.
Yeah.
I don't know where it got, and it don't say anything in there who's supposed to do the flushing.
Well,
But
fire department-
somehow or another, it got put off on distribution to do the flushing and not the fire department.
Well,
So-
I know exactly when that happened.
Okay, so,
That happened when Jeff Williams was here, because Jeff Williams and Heath Cotney didn't necessarily get along the greatest, and Jeff didn't want Heath Cotney doing anything, because he said something about
Water.
they would let it go too fast or something, and it'll mess something
see,
up. So that happened when Jeff Williams
yeah,
was
cause
here.
it don't state that it's Richard's
Well,
responsibility to do the flushing, and Terry Mangrum said that they, at the fire department, used to do it, so it don't matter who does it, it just needs to be done.
Maybe we need to.
It would take a load, because here's the thing,
Maybe we need to go back to the fire department.
here's the thing what's gonna happen on our end, when we start flushing, I mean, what are our other little stuff we gotta do?
Yeah, I understand. You've got a plate full already.
Yeah, and I mean,
That's why I said
And
it
that's
don't
why-
state
that's why
who
I
has
have
to
the
do
fire
it.
department do it, because, you know.
cause they can go on and do it and not stop.
Most of what they do is wait for an emergency.
That's
You know,
it.
And that's what we want them to do. We
Right.
want them to wait, we want them to be around waiting for that emergency. But in the meantime, that, you know, that doesn't distract from their work to have a flushing fire hydrant.
So you have a copy of it?
I do, I'll bring you a copy. Richard, I think,
What do
has
you-
a copy. It tells you what hydrants to start at, and where, how to
Does it make
go.
sense to you for the fire department?
Oh, see, that's why, that's all I ever knew. I worked at West Point 30 years, I never flushed
Yeah,
out.
and
But
I've
see,
seen in
since-
other cities where that happens.
And the fire department always did.
Since I've been here, distribution's done it, so that's why I said, I don't know what happened and why the fire department used to do it and why but you just
That's what
explained
we
that,
did,
so, yeah. It don't matter who does it, as long as it gets done.
We got, I'm sure we got enough on our plate as it is, and then we cut,
just always done it since I've been here since 2012. I didn't know what happened, but Terry Mangler mentioned to me that they used to do it when he was on the fire department, so he don't understand why distribution, but then he explained it why, but anyway.
Personality problem.
Yeah, so, yeah, that would take that off of him, and the fire department could do that part.
And see, that's why we have meetings like this.
Yeah,
We
so
got
we
that.
can get down.
Okay, let's let Mr. Sanders talk a
Yeah.
little bit.
Let's go ahead.
How are things going with you?
How's everything going?
Water, electricity don't get.
Let it on me.
Right, I'm being quiet, not listening. Now, everything's going good, we got a full crew, we got, two journeymen, two apprentices, and then myself. So, and Jimmy's fixing to be retired, so he's on his way out.
When's your leave?
What is it? 20?
November 1st?
No,
End of October, last business day of October, I think maybe the 28th or
yeah, 28, 29, somewhere in there.
whatever that was.
But yeah, everything's going good, man. I'm just so thankful. I got a good crew, man. I got two guys that's come into this and they want to learn so bad, you know. Got a good foreman, he's very knowledgeable, not of just, you know, our powers, you know, and our system that we have. He can also do other things, you know, he's pretty good at building panels. His daddy owns a business, and they build panels and all. I mean, he's got far more knowledge than just the system, you know. And, I would like to address this, and it's something that really, really needs to be thought about hard. We got 15, 20-year-old bucket trucks out there, and we're having some issues out of one particular. And as y'all know, these bucket trucks are not cheap, and we need to look at starting to replace some of the stuff out there, because, I mean, that's people's life that is up there in that bucket. We trust in this truck, you know, at 15, 20 years old, you know, and, just the other day, they was doing something in it and something popped. I mean,
That's
all the-
scary.
yeah, that's what he told me. It was like, man, he said, I don't know what that was. I said, I heard it too, but I don't know what it was. But I mean, everything worked, but it just made a loud pop, you know. And I think every 10 years, you're supposed to have these bucket trucks went through and totally reworked from the ground up. And I don't know the pricing on that. I'm pretty sure it's expensive. But, like I say, you can't put a price on somebody's life.
I'm just wondering, are there any grants out there as far as the electrical department side, probably possibly apply?
Yeah, no, the first grant, if we're talking about vehicles, the first grant that came to mind was the grant that's historically been used for the police department, but it's not a police department grant, it's basically a vehicle grant. So, but it's went to the police department, what, 3 times, I think? Who's been here the longest? You, I think, maybe? How many times have we had new police cars? It's been 3 times, I think. We
At
had,
the water plant?
no, just
Police
new
cars.
police
Just police
cars.
cars.
Yeah, you know, it was 3 because we had the Dodge Chargers, we had Impalas, and then we had these Explorers. So in each of those 3 times, that grant money was used for those vehicles,
Yeah.
but it's for any vehicles. Now, it's only, I say only, $50,000 cap. But, so I'm not sure.
Well, I say, since they're all around the same age, and they start going out, I mean, we're gonna be without trucks to work with, you know?
Maybe we need to consider spending that money in that department, in that electrical department. I mean, hey, you gotta realize the electrical department, the one, all the other departments, bring in the money. You know, even though the other departments bring in some, but
And